Hi guys, we're going to review Pythagorean theorem to set us up to do some lessons that are a little bit harder later on. So remember, if a triangle is a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are legs and c is the hypotenuse. So what you want to remember with the C is the hypotenuse is always opposite of the 90-degree angle. So hypotenuse, always opposite the right angle. So if you're having a hard time figuring out what number to substitute for C, just look for the right angle. So let's just review these ones real quick. I always like to just identify my hypotenuse in the beginning, so I know what my C is. So I'm going to have 9 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. That's 81 plus 144 equals x squared. 81 plus 144 is 225. And then you take the square root of 225 to get your answer. So your answer for this one is 15 equals x. Let's do the next one. So look at our 90-degree angle, our right angle. The number opposite of that one is 13, so that's going to be my hypotenuse. So we have x squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. So x squared plus 144 is equal to 169. Then you subtract the 144, so you get x squared is equal to 25. And then you do the square root of 25, giving you an answer of x equals 5. Okay? Again, find the hypotenuse for letter C. So we have x squared plus 8 squared equals 17 squared. So x squared plus 64 equals 289. Then you're going to subtract the 64 to solve for the x squared. So x squared is equal to 225, and we did that. We had that same answer in letter A, so we know that this is x equals 15. So all of the triangles above are examples of Pythagorean triples. So what that means is that we have 3 whole numbers that make a squared plus b squared equals c squared true. So they have to be whole numbers. So let's look at some common Pythagorean triples. If you printed the handout, you're going to want to write a little small here. So one of the Pythagorean triples is 3, 4, 5. So what this means is if I had a triangle that had side lengths of 3 and 4 with a hypotenuse of 5, it's a triple because they're all 3 whole numbers. So we can take these triples and we can multiply them to get other triples. So if I had a 3, 4, 5 triple, then another triple, I could take those and multiply them by 2. So 3 times 2, 6, 4 times 2 is 8, and 5 times 2 is 10. So that would be an example of another triple. Another one, if I take 3, 4, 5 and multiply them by 3, we would get 9, 12, and 15. In your book, they have an example where they each have a variable, so you can also have 3x, 4x, and 5x. The next triple is 5, 12, 13. So if I did 5 squared plus 12 squared, I would get 13 squared. So if we multiply these, we would get 10, 24, 26, 15, 36, 39, 5x, 12x, and 13x are all different examples of Pythagorean triples. The next one is 7, 24, 25. So if I multiply all those by 2, we get 14, 28, 50. If I multiply 7, 24, 25 by 3, I get 21, 72, 75. And then you can also have a variable in there. Your last one, 8, 15, and 17. So if we multiply those by 2, we get 16, 30, 34, 24, 45, and 51. And then 8x, 15x, and 17x. So these are the most common Pythagorean triples that you will see, and you just remember them. A lot of the time you'll just see them and recognize them, and you won't really have to show any work for those because you'll already know that it's a Pythagorean triple. Okay, so here are some example problems. Some of them are triple, some of them are not. The important thing for you to recognize is that you want to leave your answer in simplest radical form or not doing decimal form. So I encourage you to try a problem maybe with me, and then for the next one, pause the video, do it yourself, and then unpause the video to see if you got the correct answer. So let's do letter A. So I'm always going to find my hypotenuse first. So this one's going to be 7 squared plus 24 squared equals x squared. So 7 squared is 49. 24 squared is 576 equals x squared. And then add 49 and 576 to get 625 equals x squared. Then you're going to take the square root of 625, and your answer is 25. So that one was actually a triple. So let's look at letter B. Your hypotenuse is 12. So we have x squared plus 8 squared is equal to 12 squared. So x squared plus 64 equals 144. So this one, we're going to have to subtract the 64 over to solve for x squared. So x squared equals 80, and that is not a perfect square, so we're going to simplify that one. Think of what perfect squares are in 80. It would be 16 and 5. So the square root of 16 times the square root of 5, giving me an answer of 4 root 5 for my answer for B. Okay, so hypotenuse is 29. So we have x squared plus 20 squared is equal to 29 squared. So x squared plus 400 is equal to 841. You're going to subtract the 400, so you have x squared is equal to 441. And then when you take the square root of 441, you should get x equals 21. Okay, so letter D. Your x is your hypotenuse, so very similar to A. So you have 4 squared plus 6 squared equals x squared. So 16 plus 36 equals x squared. 16 plus 36 is 52. And then we're going to take the square root of 52 to solve for x. And there 52 is not a perfect square, so we have to simplify this into 4 times 13. And remember, you have that cheat sheet that we did at the very beginning of this unit, so you might want to just check on your cheat sheet for the square root of 52. Your answer would be 2 root 13. Okay, if you look at letter E, this one looks a little bit different just because both of your legs have an X on there, so it's gonna change how we solve it just a little bit. So we have x squared plus x squared is equal to 6 squared. So we have 2x squareds. So we just write 2x squared, combining those like terms, is equal to 36. So you want to get the x squared term alone. So what you're going to do is just divide both sides by 2. So you have x squared is equal to 18. Now we're going to take the square root. So 18 isn't a perfect square, but it's 9 times 2, and the square root of 9 is 3. So we have 3 root 2 for your answer on that one. Okay, last one looks a little bit different than the others as well, because now we have a radical as one of the legs, but that's okay. Don't let that scare you. So we have x squared plus the square root of 12 squared equals 6 squared. So I just want to remind you that when we have the square root of 12 squared, that just means the square root of 12 times the square root of 12, which we were doing when we were rationalizing denominators. So what happens is we just end up with 12. So x squared plus 12 is going to equal 36. So just don't let that scare you. You're going to subtract 12 from each side, so you get x squared is equal to 24. Then you take the square root of each side. So we're simplifying the square root of 24, which is 4 times 6. And the square root of 4 is 2. So we have 2 root 6. I believe that one was on your cheat sheet as well.